From the Mount Clemens Racetrack, the fifth turn, this week in auto racing. Brought to you by the Mount Clemens Racetrack, Michigan's premier short track. Stan Yee's Collision, the auto repair center specializing in unibody repair. Your host, Jim Brandstatter. Hi everybody and welcome to the fifth turn, this week in auto racing. This past week has been an exciting one for race fans in the Detroit area. The Mount Clemens Racetrack played host to the ARTCO ASA 100 Professional Driver Series last Thursday, while downtown Detroit came alive with the thundering engines of Formula One Grand Prix racing. And later on in the fifth turn, we'll talk to some of the Grand Prix drivers and also show some highlights of the ARTCO ASA 100. Before we get into the regular racing we cover here at the fifth turn, I'd like to introduce you to a new form of racing that makes its debut at the Mount Clemens Racetrack this Sunday, July 1st. It's called Enduro Auto Racing. The beauty of this type of racing is that anyone can participate. Anyone who ever had the urge to get behind the wheel of a stock car and zoom around the oval track, well, this is your chance. The cars are basically street vehicles with a few safety modifications. The drivers are like you and me, die-hard race enthusiasts. The race itself virtually has no rules. It's 250 laps of pedal-pushing endurance, and there are no yellow flags, which means no stopping for accidents. So let's talk to Ontario Delaware Racetrack's promoter and get more information on this exciting type of racing.
The endurance race, basically, which we started a couple of years ago, is meant for a novice type fellas, people that sit on the hill week after week and really would like to get out there but don't have the experience or the dollars basically get into a race car. So we come up with this novel idea of getting a whole bunch of cars together and getting them out on the racetrack, and away we go. And basically the rules of the game are very simple. It's a 108-inch wheelbase car. The bigger the better, actually, because there is no rules as far as bumping or pushing or anything of that nature. So the mid-range type car is about the best to use. And they have to be basically off the street type cars and no modifications to suspension, engine modifications, or anything of that nature. So 250 laps later, we have a winner. So it's a lot of fun, and we've noticed that, especially this year, that the fellas that ran in endurance last year have become our street stock racers. And of course, maybe these are the AJ Foyts of the future, who knows, but at least it gives them a chance to get out and really go at it. I was in the first one, and due to the amount of entries that we've had, I don't want to take somebody else's spot away, and it's just fantastic. You know, if you really want to get behind the wheel of a car and see what you can do with it, why, this is what to do.
What was your biggest thrill during that race you were in?
Well, I'll tell you, the biggest thrill was the 50 ahead of you and the 50 behind you, and when the green flag dropped, you didn't know where nobody was going, and the thing was is just to kind of keep out of trouble and keep sailing along. And it was really something. It was fantastic. It's just like driving on 401 in Toronto, you know, or Detroit, you know. It's really something.
Kurt McGorman won a street stock heat race last week that clearly shows the intense competition within the division. With 1 lap to go, Kurt's car blew a tire and began smoking excessively. Kurt never gave up, though, and went on to claim the checkered flag.
And the green flag's out, we're racing. And action all over the racetrack down the back straightaway. And the spin out in the third corner. Ken Humpert running in second place in car number 70. Hank Stickney Jr. on the move in car 32. Down the back straightaway, that second place continues. Gary Gallagher leads in 78. And car 88 spins out. Ken Thompson in car 88. And the caution flag comes out. They're going to be getting the green flag. The green flag's out there racing once again. Hank Stickney Jr. and cars every place. 3 abreast in turns 1 and 2. Some sheet metal damage being done. But coming up to challenge in car 111, Kurt McGorman. McGorman on the outside of Gary Gallagher. Down the front straightaway they come. And Kurt McGorman trying to take that lead from Gary Gallagher. And Gallagher doesn't want to give it up yet. And now it's McGorman in the lead. Now Hank Stickney Jr. recovers to get that second position back once again. Gary Kimball up to third now. Gary Kimball in 43 is up to third. It's still Kurt McGorman in the lead. Hank Stickney Jr., Gary Kimball, Gary Gallagher. Down the back straightaway they go. About a lap and a half to go, and McGorman's car starts to smoke as they get the white flag. 1 lap to go. Can Kurt McGorman's car hold together for the last lap? The cockpit filling up with smoke. He's trying to hold on and win the thing, but Hank Stickney Jr. is sitting right there. They're coming into the last set of turns. They're heading for the checkered flag. It's anybody's race as they come around. It's going to be Kurt McGorman, followed by Hank Stickney Jr., Gary Kimball, and looks like Gary Gallagher. And I don't know if there's going to be enough oil left to take the victory lap as he takes the car into the infield and coast across. He's going to try to take it back to the pits, it looks like. How about a round of applause for the winner of that heat race, Kurt McGorman.
The street stocks did not race this week due to the Artco ASA 100 on Thursday and inclement weather on Saturday, thereby keeping the point standings the same for the week. Tom Terzo is still holding on to his slim lead with 182 points. Dave DeSmith is following closely with 180. Al Hamilton, Chuck Broder, and Scott Farr round out the top 5. The limited sportsman also did not race this week. Mark Bott then still leads the division with 94 points, followed by Andy Farr with 78, Carl Schultz and Dave Randa with 76, and George Deacock at 72. You're now looking at Rick Shepard's number 44. We will take a look at Rick as he ran in the Artco ASA Challenge race. We'll also take a look at highlights from Powder Puff, and we'll take a look at some Grand Prix Formula One drivers, and we'll talk with them about racing the streets of Detroit. Stay with us. When something like this happens by accident, come to Stan Yee's Collision for quality auto body repair and refinishing. Stan Yee's Collision will handle everything from the insurance claim to guaranteeing you 100% satisfaction on the repairs they do. Only the most advanced equipment is used, including the new bench fixture straightening system, especially useful for correcting damaged front-wheel drive unit body vehicles. When searching for an auto repair shop, look no further than Stan Yee's Collision.
The Mount Clemens Racetrack invites you to a summer of fun and excitement as it comes alive with the roaring engines and the fierce competition of stock car racing. Every Thursday and Saturday night at 7:30 p.m., Michigan's premier short track features racing from 5 championship divisions: the Grand American, Limited Sportsman, High-Powered Street Stocks, Mini Modified, and the Women's Powder Puffs. The green flag signals summer fun for everyone Thursday and Saturday nights at the Mount Clemens Racetrack, I-94 and the Mount Clemens exit.
Welcome back. We're in the 5th turn this week in auto racing. Due to bad weather last Saturday night, the Mini Modified division did not compete this week. A quick recap of the division shows Bill Breen is the leader with 116 points. Eric Bambard follows him closely with 104. Harold Samuel has 96, Brian McCreth 92, while Rick Ferguson currently holds 5th place with 70 points. The Grand American division did not change either this week. Artie Summers still leads with 100 points. Rick Shepard is number 2 with 94. In 3rd is Chuck Romell with 86, followed by Dick Barker with 84 and Tracy Leslie with 50 points. Well, all the excitement of the Grand Prix in the streets of Detroit last week did not overshadow the fine racing at the Mount Clemens racetrack last Thursday. A near-capacity crowd thrilled to the spectacle of the ArtGo ASA Challenge. Drivers from all over the Midwest participated in the challenge, including a few Mount Clemens racetrack regulars. Dick Trickle in car 99, considered to be the winningest driver on the circuit, finished first in the feature race, leading by nearly half a lap near the end. Let's take a look at the feature race, including a spectacular crash at the beginning of the race.
Here they come! The 17-year-old Billy Sontag tries to take the early lead, and he does, but Dick Barker is right there with them. The rookie against the veteran, down the back straightaway they go, and side by side. Here comes the battle for the lead off turn 4. Dick Barker takes the early lead at car 45. Barker takes the lead from the rookie down the back straightaway. Into turns 3 and 4. Dick Barker out front. Dick Barker, Mel Wallen, Art Summers, Chuck Romell down the back straightaway. Here come your leaders through turns 3 and 4. Down the front straightaway, your leader, Dick Barker. Dick Barker, Mel Wallen, Artie Summers, Chuck Romell down the back straightaway. Then it's car 14, Al Schill, Frank Galinsky, Dick Trickle on the move. Dick Trickle started 12th. He's up to that 7th spot right now. And Mark Martin right behind him. Here comes Joe Scher through the pack. The fast cars working their way through the field. Here comes your leader, Dick Barker. Back in the pack, Mark Martin, Dick Trickle, and Joe Scher, Tom Ruffner, all on the move, trying to work their way up front. Your leader still Dick Barker in 45. Oh, in the 4th corner, cars all over in turn 4. A massive pileup as at least a half a dozen of cars involved in this accident coming off turn number 4.
Luckily, nobody was injured in that mishap, and really it's a credit to the drivers that with all of that going on in front of them, they're able to sort it all out and drive carefully through that kind of trouble and avoid injury. After the safety crews got all the debris and the cars off the track, the race continued. And near the end of the race, as it was in the beginning of the race, mostly it was all Dick Trickle.
Dick Barker, there's the battle for third. That 3rd place spot open to question as Galinsky tries to put a move on the low side of Art Summers. Couldn't do it that time. We're in the final stages of this one. The final stages of the Macomb Daily 100. Dick Trickle, your leader. Dick Barker running in 2nd. And who's going to finish in that 3rd spot as they come by? Anybody could take that third spot yet. In the meantime, here comes your leader, Dick Trickle. The white flag next time by. Keep your eyes on that battle for third, as they're going to be getting the white flag this time by. It'll be the final lap. 1 lap to go for your leader, Dick Trickle. Who's going to finish in third? We're going to find out as we're now on the last lap. Dick Barker running in second, but who's going to finish third in a 3-car freight train? Dick Trickle out front. Dick Barker running in second. Chuck Rommel sitting behind the cars of Art Summers and Frank Galinsky. Here comes your leader and winner, waving. Dick Trickle. Second place going to be Barker. Who's going to finish third as they come by? Look like Art Summers, Frank Galinsky, Chuck Rommel, Mark Martin, and Tom Ruffner unofficially, as the announcer has it. And here comes a man who's happy indeed. He's earned a 100-lap feature event win in car number 99, Dick Trickle.
The Fifth Turn cameras went downtown last week to talk with some Grand Prix drivers to find out their views on Detroit and international racing in Detroit. We talked with Martin Brundle. He happened to be the man that almost caught Nelson Piquet in the last laps to win the Grand Prix. He just came a half a second short. He is the Formula One driver who finished second. We'll also talk to his team owner, Ken Tyrrell. He is one of the guys that is staying with the non-turbocharged engines. He's running the Ford Cosworth, and they finished second in Detroit. A Trans Am 100 competitor named Bob Lobenberg, who sat on the pole for the Saturday Trans Am 100 race. And from Michigan, Levy Morgan, a driver in the Renault Cup race. This is what they all had to say. Do you feel good about coming to Detroit and coming to American Racing Grand Prix? Because I know that this is kind of new for this city. It's only our 3rd year. What's your feeling about coming into a city like this? And can you see the excitement that they have about this race?
Yeah, I'm hoping, I mean, obviously, American racing is all about the big ovals, and I know you have some road racing. I'm hoping Grand Prix will get itself firmly established here. It seems to have been on and off at various places around America. Yeah, I mean, I find it incredibly exciting. In Europe, we have a lot of support. We seem to be struggling to get firmly established here, but I think it should happen. Obviously, a race like this in Detroit can only do that good.
I like coming here. I find that the stories I heard about Detroit were not true. I was told that if a car stopped on the track, the wheels would probably be stolen before we could get to it. None of these things happened, and I find that the whole scene is a good one, and one which I'm sure will build on each year. I'm very pleased to come to Detroit. I like it here.
In the past, the Trans Am Series has shown to the general public that you can put Detroit iron out there on the racetrack and produce a very spectacular road racing race. And I think that this race through the streets of Detroit, bless their hearts, is going to be one of the best Trans Am races of the year.
Do you look at yourself being a native Detroiter, being in this race on the streets of Detroit? Is that a lot of pressure for you to win and driving a Ford Escort, which of course is from hometown?
Yeah, of course it's a lot of pressure. Anytime you come in front of a home crowd, like when you play ball at Michigan, when you played at home, it's always that much pressure because everybody's watching you, and they never notice what you're doing right, but they always will tell you what you're doing wrong.
Taking a look at the women's side of auto racing, we see that the powder puff division has just as many problems as the men's. The competition is fierce, and as you'll see, the unexpected is always just around the next turn.
Green flag's out. We're racing. Tiny Fowlers takes their lead, but then it's car 59, Joanne Bagnasco, Joanne Bagnasco, the leader, and here comes Dana Gosser in 69 now, but Joanne Bagnasco, the leader, she's losing an axle, she's losing a tire. Joanne's going to be having some problem going into turn number 1, the tire and the axle all coming out of the car, and she still holds on to the lead. She's still leading the car. We've got cars bumping in turn 1 and 2. That wheel's getting further and further out. It's going to go flying if it ever comes off. In the meantime, it's not handling well at all, and now here it goes. The wheel's off, the axle's off, it hits the car, then everybody dives out of the way. Joanne Bagnasco did a great job with that one. How about a round of applause for Joanne Bagnasco? What a wild drive. Puffs, and we're racing again. Dana Gosser, the leader. Corey Russell running in second. Don Tosto third. Bonnie Randa up to fourth. Sharon Anderson fifth. Down the back straightaway they go, and it's still Dana Gosser out front. James Hicks to the ticket booth, please. James Hicks to the ticket booth. Here comes Bonnie Randa challenging Don Tosto for that number 3 spot. Bonnie Randa on the outside in 54. She's pulling up alongside Corey Russell. Bonnie Randa up to second now. Dana Gosser out front. But here comes Bonnie Randa. Bonnie Randa on the move. She's up to the number 2 spot. Dana Gosser, Bonnie Randa starts to close in. Bonnie Randa closes in, tries to pull up on the high side. In turns 3 and 4, coming down the front chute. It's still Gosser, Randa, Russell, and Tosto. And Dana Gosser's car starting to smoke. And Randa pulls up alongside Gosser, coming out the front chute. It's anybody's race. 2 laps to go. They've got just 2 laps to go, and they're racing side by side for that number 1 spot as they head down the back straightaway. Bonnie Randa starts to get a little bit of an advantage. Almost clears and then doesn't. Dana Gosser right there. The cars make contact. Here comes the rest of them. Look out, everybody. And the caution flag comes out. A caution flag comes out. The leaders get crossed up. The rest of the pack bears down on them. And luckily, it doesn't look like there's too much serious damage down there. Corey Russell leads the field as they get the green flag again. Two laps to go in this one. Just 2 laps remain. Corey Russell leads the field. Judy Broder running second. Judy trying to challenge. The white flag's out. 1 lap to go. Corey Russell now. Dawn Tosto and Judy Broder get crossed up. Kathy Tosto gets crossed up with Broder, and Broder drops way back. Here they come to the checkered flag. The winner's gonna be Corey Russell. And Corey, a happy young lady. She'll be coming around to pick up her checkered flag, and when she does, she's really happy about it. And we ought to let her know that she did a great job. So here she comes, the winner of the Stroh Powder Puff Heat Race in car number 02 from Mount Clemens, Corey Russell.
This week, the point standings are also unchanged in the Powder Puff division. Bonnie Randa, who crashed in that last race from 2 Saturdays ago, is in first with 182 points, followed by Kathy Tosto with 173, Sharon Anderson's 136, Debbie DeSmith's 112, and Judy Broder's 110. When something like this happens by accident, come to Stan Yee's Collision for quality auto body repair and refinishing. Stan Yee's Collision will handle everything from the insurance claim to guaranteeing you 100% satisfaction on the repairs they do. Only the most advanced equipment is used, including the new bench fixture straightening system, especially useful for correcting damaged front-wheel drive unit body vehicles. When searching for an auto repair shop, look no further than Stan Yee's Collision.
The Mount Clemens Racetrack invites you to a summer of fun and excitement as it comes alive with the roaring engines and the fierce competition of stock car racing. Every Thursday and Saturday night at 7:30 p.m., Michigan's premier short track features racing from 5 championship divisions: the Grand American, Limited Sportsman, High-Powered Street Stocks, Mini Modified, and the Women's Powder Puffs. The green flag signals summer fun for everyone Thursday and Saturday nights at the Mount Clemens Racetrack, I-94 and the Mount Clemens exit.
This little guy here might look like a go-kart to you, but believe me, it's not. It is called a Formula V car. And if you think it runs slow and it's not a real race car, I'm afraid you're sadly mistaken. They can fly. Andres, explain to me a little bit about these cars. What exactly are they?
Well, they're Formula Vs is what they're called. They're based on pre-1964 Volkswagen components, mated to American-made chassis. They're, the interesting part about this class is that the rules haven't changed in 20 years. This is a 20-year-old class. Cars that are, my car is 11 years old and I'm nationally competitive. And it's very, very close racing because the specifications and the rules are very restricted. They emphasize more driving than they do expense that you can put into a car.
How fast?
Well, I don't want to have to bite my tongue, but I'm pretty sure that, first of all, we have 60 horsepower at the most on these cars. We'll be running faster than the ASA cars are running.
Why? How can that happen?
We go through the turns a lot better than they do. We don't have the top end speed, but we will be probably twice as fast through the turns and twice as slow down the straight.
Mostly you do road racing, is that correct?
Yes, we road race exclusively, really, that's what we do, but I think that Formula V has very good entertainment value in an oval, especially an oval like Mount Clemens, and we're gonna give that a try. You will see very, very competitive racing out here. As a matter of fact, I don't even think that we'll have to flip the field like they do in stock cars to have a competitive race. Our races, usually our grids, our qualifying grids, there'll be 30 cars, 20 of them will be within a second.
We hope to see you out at the Mount Clemens Racetrack this Saturday when the thundering power of the Talladega Super Series roars around the half mile. Also that Saturday, don't forget, the thrilling Formula V Series is underway, and believe me, that's exciting and it's fun. In July, treat yourself to the best fireworks display in Macomb County, along with great racing on July 5th and the 7th. Of course, this Thursday, the Grand American Division will be wheel-to-wheel, nose-to-tail in action starting at 7:30. So for now, have a good week, and we'll see you next time on The Fifth Turn, This Week in Auto Racing. Be with us next week on The Fifth Turn, This Week in Auto Racing. Brought to you by the Mount Clemens Racetrack, Michigan's premier short track. Stan Yee's Collision, the auto body center specializing in unibody repair.